which means it is time for the Tonic A race. I am joined in the commentary booth by Fly Eagles Fly and Joker Mage. Two of us in the booth here are doing this stream instead of watching Monday Night Football. So you're welcome, chat. How are you doing, Fly Eagles Fly? What's going on?
I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, I got Monday Night Football on. Go Birds! But I'm here to watch this four-way race in this Tonic A last week of Ultros League Season 5. So I'm very excited to watch this and be part of the commentary booth.
And Joker Mage, hope you don't get too bad of a seed bleed here, as we're going to be doing some Tonic A racing. I know you said you were a part of this group, but way back when, before taking a couple of forfeits to the face.
So me, if you want to go with the classic Todd Howard meme in Skyrim.
It works. Everything just works, right?
Yeah. And it's going to be interesting. Like most of these guys I haven't seen a bit, but Sonic the Jester and I have done comms together a couple of times, so I know he's a good guy, and he's been learning from some of the best in the Worlds Collide community. And Possum Morpheus is newer to Worlds Collide, but he is one of the top guys over in the Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. I think he actually finished in the top 4 of the recent tournament there. So he's got a lot of experience with Super Nintendo randomizers for JRPGs, and really Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy VI are very different games. Worlds Collide and Free Enterprise are very different randomizers. So his ability to do well is going to basically depend on how well he manages the differences between those systems.
Yeah, so I have the standings popped up on screen here, just to show you. So Sonic the Jester will be moving up to Potion next season, as well as I'm Not Your Buddy, Gao. But Possum Morpheus, Dakar, and Kegalas are also going to be joining us racing here, and they're going to be just basically playing to finish out a strong Ultros League Season 5. So let's go ahead and let's tell our runners to start to go, because they've been waiting for a little bit here, and we'll give it back over to you guys.
All right, welcome, Fly Eagles Fly. I just got off watching one of the other races, and it was a fairly standard start. There was a bit of divergence in a few of these checks, but what are you expecting to see for this, this start?
I'm expecting to see, like, if we don't get a terrorist start, them raiding Narsh first, and then head into the Returner's hideout, and then going South Firago to get some loot to see where exactly to go. And as we see, we got Realm, Gal, and Strago start. So looking like we got a few pretty good things. Find some dry meat in the item shop. You can easily do one of Gal's checks real fast. There we go, dried meat.
Gotta love the meat. Gao is my favorite character in the randomizer, and a Gao start is great because you can do the easy Velt check, provided you find that dried meat. I know that was a bit of a sore spot for one of our elixir seeds this past week. And then you get to go through the Serpent Trench, which is just 3 to 5 forced encounters, which is really nice. So I think if it was me, that's what I would be doing here.
And Realm is also a pretty good one to start, highest base magic normally, and she's got a couple of fairly solid checks that you can do that aren't too difficult, can give you a little bit of early levels for scaling, and just sort of get you a good starting character, especially if she comes with any magical abilities.
Yes, you definitely want to be a little bit above that scaling, especially if the runners go and take Serpent's Trench just to get those few battles, to get some levels, so that way they're able to take out some of these early bosses if they choose to go those ways.
A lot of South Figaro so far. And we did see a Minerva in a chest, which is really nice. I believe Realm can wear that naturally, but I'm not 100%, so somebody will have to correct me on that. But there is a 33% chance that one of our other users can do it, and I wasn't really paying attention at the start of the race, trying to get the stream up and going. Did we see what the commands on these different characters were?
I don't think I think I missed that, unfortunately. But yeah, right now everyone it was pretty much as Fly predicted. Everyone just looted Narsh. We do now have Dekar going to Returner's Camp. Sonic is also going to be headed out. Also looks like Returner's Camp. And Kiglis is also doing Returner's Camp.
Little game of follow the leader, follow the leader. But that's okay, because this is, you know, the first 5-10 minutes or so of a Worlds Collide seed is basically just doing this anyway, right? Oh, there's a juicy relic there. That Genji glove.
Unless you're a certain dog who likes going to Phoenix Cave first.
Hey, listen, there is treasure in Phoenix Cave.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. But it's nice to see the runners going the same route and like basically like high-fiving each other as they're entering and leaving each room in the returner's hideout.
Yeah, this is all, you know, fairly safe, fairly standard, and it's just a matter of go get your gear and then find something to do to get levels. And I guess, I mean, we know how the Schwans feels. Go ahead and do Gauss checks. But how about you, Eagle? How do you want to get your levels with this party?
I'm actually like also on with the Gauss checks. I really hate doing the burning house. That's one of the least things that I like doing whenever I run. So I try to stay far away from burning house unless I have to go there. But doing the gal checks, pretty good to get like at least a magicite or even characters. So it's just like trying to figure out which way to go, and sometimes off that off chance it might be just a dead check and then leading you right towards going towards that burning house.
Yeah, and arguably one of the best advantages of Gauss checks is that they're both basically right next to each other. You do the Vel check, then you just hop down Serpent's Trench and you're done.
Yeah, and it's easy when you don't even have a fight with any enemies because you get that Lobo at the Velt, so that way it's a little bit easier to take that out.
Okay, we have found dragon horns. I don't know if any of the characters have jump natively, but that would be very helpful for those.
Yes, definitely. If someone has jump, it would be very helpful. Watch the dragoons go in the air.
I think, all right, we got a fight from Sonic, and that's the Lobo fight. Sketch, Slot.
Ugh, Steel and Sketch Gao, you hate to see it. Yick. Oh,
go. That's very solid, easy to pay off Velt check.
Yeah, I think as soon as we get any fifth character, Gao is headed to the bench. And I think one of our characters is X Magic, I think, because I only saw Fight and Item.
Do you want to, now, would you immediately go do Go-Go's check at this point?
No. I mean,
yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Have I found a warp stone? That's the big question, right? All right, so it looks like
you're right about X Magic, because that is available here.
Yeah, so and the other one is Slot. So Slot is pretty decent early game as far as like commands go. You can get some pretty decent mileage out of it, but that Gao is hideous. We need to jettison him as soon as possible. And that's the reason why, folks, people do not like having Gao as one of their characters. I love Gao. Give me the Sketch Steel Gao all day.
Yeah, I mean, maybe do the Serpent Trench, check if that's a character, and, you know, like you said, probably as soon as we find a fifth character that's anywhere decent, that Gao's just going on the bench.
Just got word that Ceiling Cat has finished her Kefka climb, so GG's to her.
GG's Cat.
GG's on that tough one.
Yeah, Kefka can be nasty. And, you know, it's weird because it's something that is the same every seed, but since you don't get the same stuff every seed, sometimes you have it worse than others.
Kiglis is doing Veld check, it looks like. It also finds a Lobo.
Yeah, since they haven't taken off the Moogle Charm for random encounters, you're going to get the Lobo. What do you guys think about going, I guess I'll ask Fly Eagles Fly, what do you think about going to Velt immediately as soon as you find dried meat, like our Sonic and Kiglis did, whereas Dakar and Possumorpheus are still looting. Grabbing a Thunder Shield from Tizen Thief, pretty cheap as well.
So, like, I'm looking at it, trying to get see if I can get that character or like a Magicite real quick, so that way when I do go and grind somewhere, if it's a Magicite, I can at least give it to Realm, and if it's got plus magic too, then that's awesome having that for Realm going all the way through, so she can just be using slots and then using magic if need be. So that's why I usually like going real quick to check the Velt real fast when you have Gao.
Yeah, I'd agree because it can feel kind of rough if you're trying to do a grind and you only have 3 characters and no Magicite. We do have Sonic Jester going ahead and doing Serpent Trench after all, finding a bunch of pipsqueaks. Kiglis also getting the Thunder Shield from the Tizen Thief. Possumorpheus is also doing Veld check now.
Just want to point out Dakar finding some snipers for sale in World of Balance to Zen. Only Strago could use it, and there's those warp stones. So we'll see if they decide to go to Zone Eater afterwards.
Yeah, and if anyone watched the previous potion one that was on this channel just previously, you saw what can happen if you don't have a lot of warp stones. So those warp stones are an excellent find this early.
Now, how many warp stones do you tend to usually buy, Joker?
Probably around 6, 7. Usually those are because you can. I think I don't ever use that many, but it's one of those safe than sorry things that I try to do. But there are definitely certain locations where you want to make sure you have one. Stuff like Mount Zozo and Gogo's Cave.
Yeah, I used to get 3 and then realizing I was always running out and never finding none in chests. So now I upped it to that 5 or 6 just so I could have them just to get out of Mount Zozo or the Go-Go check.
They can also double as smoke bombs too. It allows you to get out of grind fights. So.
Okay, Indekar has also completed Veld check, so I believe everyone is now on 4 characters. Possum does have Go-Go. So where are we going to find character number 5?
Well, I'm thinking it might end up being Burning House.
I mean, I still like Gogo's Cave just because that's how this randomizer occasionally will function, like it's weighted to do that. But I would like to see it in one of Realm's checks as well. I mean, it could also just be both, like 2 characters are behind both of Gao's checks because we haven't seen the end of Serpent Trench yet. And we do have Possumorpheus going ahead for the Zone Eater.
And we got Kiglis going towards Burning House.
Yep, so we got 2 in Serpent Trench, one getting engulfed, and one, basking in the flames.
Oh, as you can see on Possumorpheus' side, getting struck down by that green hat guy. One of the worst things I hate in this Go-Go check is trying to time it right to where you can't get knocked down by that guy. Oh, and again.
Yeah. It's especially really bad, like if you're on the middle bridge and they troll you by never coming far enough for you to get past them.
Yes, that's the worst, is the trolling.
And we do see that Sonic is through Serpent Trench, but I did not see what he got out of that. It looks like it might have been an Esper, though.
And we see in the experience egg.
Where was that egg? Was it in?
It was yeah, it was
Go-Go?
Zone Eater.
Wow. Okay, I guess I was wrong. Go-Go paying off this seed, huh?
That's a Sky Armor Spitfire in Burning House.
These fights are always scary to me because you get pincer attacked and they could cast some nasty stuff too.
That's Magicite Phoenix at the end of Zone Eater. And it looks like Possum did have a Warp Stone.
Yeah, I think they were one of the two runners that went into World of Balance to Zen earlier. Oh, we getting another Burning House play from Sonic here. He's hovering outside of Hamasa.
I think Dekar's very close to the end of Serpent Trench at this point. And I think Possum's gearing up to do Veld check in Serpent Trench at this point.
Yeah, Possum's already done the Velt check because he's already got...
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, so this is Serpent Trench. Okay, and we're at Nikia, so this is end of Serpent Trench for Dekar. Okay, that is Raiden.
All right, so that gives 2 Espers so far. 4 characters, 2 Espers.
Mute and Life 3 on Raiden, so there's your Calmness protection. And Tier 2, Nullified Magic. So that's a really nice Esper.
That's a great Esper. Does Raiden do instant death on Tier 1?
And Tier 2. So yeah, that's a great one to find.
And so Possum is now also in Serpent Trench, so we'll also get that Raiden in at the end. Kiglis is already at levels 11 and 12 from all the fights in Burning House.
And it looks like Decker's going over to
Doom.
Zone Eater. And Doom, wow. Doom in Burning House.
Definitely not the thing you want to see at the end of this check.
This is why I stay away from Burning House, because I've always raided to an enemy I'd never wanted to fight.
Yeah, so Dekar will do the Zone Eater check. We'll get that Phoenix at the end. Probably get that experience egg as well. It was the second chest in Crusher.
Yeah, I usually get all the chests in the Crusher room just to make it through. Because if you don't know, if you hold A before you face a treasure chest, and then you face it, it'll pick it up immediately, like on the first frame that you turn. So that's an easy way to time out getting through that Crusher room in one cycle, instead of waiting multiple times. Oh, Frozen.
Yeah, this is a really rough fight for Kiglis. Yeah, and Dekar is doing pretty well at avoiding the green suit guys.
And Sonic's now getting through the burning house also.
Now, having the extra experience from Serpent Trench, do you think that will help? With is there enough experience from Serpent Trench to help?
I mean, they've done so far. If they done, they got the 2 Espers, so that's the 2 checks, 4 characters, so that's 6 so far. I mean, looking probably at like level 14 to possibly be at in order to try to take some stuff out, but then you get the experience from Burning House also, so that you could possibly get towards almost, I would say, even with that experience egg, if you go there right away, probably get near level 20 and be able to take out Doom.
Okay, yeah, and Doom is doing its protections.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is that our runners only have Bolt 2, right? And that is not really great. And Slot, right? So Slot and Bolt 2 is really their offense right now. Slot will work in Doom's second phase, but Bolt will not, because it'll just get bounced right off. I noticed Sonic the Jester has Boots and Horn on Go-Go, so that'll at least be another form of damage, but physical offense early on isn't that great. So I think even if you have more levels, guys, the problem is you don't really have anything to punch through on offense there other than Realm with Slot.
Right. And I don't know, like it feels like it's not helpful that Gao and Gogo are both taking naps on Kagos' side.
I mean, the only thing that Gogo would be nice to mimic the Slot, but Gao is utterly useless to seed. I'm sorry, Gao, you know I love you, but Sketch Steel Gao is just not it.
Okay, Deckar is doing Esper Cave, and we already know it's not a character because that's a merchant. But we'll see what the boss is at least.
Oh, there's a character, Burning House. You called it, Eagles.
Fumbaba is the boss at Esper Cave. And that's Locke at Burning House. So as long as Locke's got some good stats and maybe a good command, that's going to be your Gao replacement.
Hell yeah. Easily. Doesn't matter what he's got. Sketch Steel Gao is just... there's. I have nightmares about that kind of Gao.
Oh, and he's got sword tech. So
oh yeah,
see you later, Gal.
Yeah, that's a hard take right there. Like, you just say yes, get in.
Pour one out for Gao in the chat.
And even if you don't find Cyan to get the sword tech unlocked, that's still going to be a very useful skill to have because of some of the other tiers of sword tech are still going to be useful.
Now at this point, seeing Locke, my mindset, if I was running this, is go do Locke's checks right away. Go to the World of Ruin and get that get the weapon shop and then go to Phoenix Cave. That's what my mindset's thinking to do.
Plus, Morpheus is also about to head into the Fumbaba fight at Esper Mountain. And Kiglis is going for that free Gao check in World of Ruin Narsh.
Yeah, I think we're early enough in the seed where we could potentially think about uncursing Shield here.
Especially if it's a low number. We'll have to see what the exact number is, but there's a lot of possibility there. Torado.
Yeah, so if it was me, I would not count on potentially getting Cyan for Sword Tech, and I would put my Experience Egg on my Sword Tech user. What do you think, Eagles?
Yeah, that's usually what I think too, is your Sword Tech person, give them the levels to get that up to Sword Tech 7 at least, and just get them leveled up.
Yeah, I think if I don't have a Blitz user, I'd put it on Sword Tech user. Because if I can get a Blitz user to 42 early and get that bum rush, that's super helpful.
All right, we got double skip and leg day. Dakar getting through. And that's the other thing about having Bolt 2 here is that Funbaba absorbs that. So that's a couple of bosses in a row that don't play nice with the offense that we currently have.
And what was the result of that? Was that an Esper at the end?
Yes. Zone Seek.
Okay. We don't know what's on it, though. Sonic is at the Doom fight. Will shortly, I assume, be able to get through it and get his lock.
I think Kiggles is looking for the cave. Use a little turnaround.
Oh, yeah. That's a bit...
That's the wrong end. That's the right end. There it is.
Trust me, I'm a horrible airship driver too. I get confused sometimes, dude. I'm driving in a circle like, where is this?
Somebody pull Kiggles over. He's drunk.
See Ozer's Mansion check here.
Airship while intoxicated. Meanwhile, yeah, this is a new check. This is new info for us, right, Ozers?
Yeah, and it's, not a terribly hard one as long as you can get through these fights. Like, sometimes there's some really annoying not boss, but really annoying monster fights here. As long as it's nothing like really absurd, they should be able to just get through it and then see what's at the end.
And is this even randomized? Tunnel armor? Come on.
Oh, that's one you're going to just walk all over. I don't think I've ever been...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't think I've ever been scared of seeing tunnel armor at a check.
This is one where a Bolt Magic will actually make a difference, finally.
Possum Morpheus is through the Funbaba. And I think Doom has just gone down on Sonic's side.
Ooh.
And we got Siren.
Yeah, so an interesting thing about Sword Tech 5 will heal not only your HP, but it also heals your MP. So you could even have a Sword Tech 5 user, say, be your Ultima caster as well. Now that we have Ultima in Ultros League Season 5, it does cost 254 MP to use, but you could refill that MP just by using Sword Tech 5 there.
What does Sword Tech scale off of again?
Your magic power. Well, Sword Tech 5 does specifically, rather. So does 6, but the rest of it is based off of your strength stat.
So hero rings are pretty good for the Sword Tech users.
Oh, yes.
You see, Siren's got Ultima.
There you go.
So now we just need a way to make it more affordable, and then we just can spam Big Blue.
Yeah, all of the other sword techs besides 5 and 6 are based on your strength stat, even Retort. It's a counter attack.
Let me see, Possum Morpheus looking for some coral.
Oh no, you're right. I'm sorry. I stand corrected. Magic. It is a magic attack. I didn't realize that. I thought it was a physical attack. See, this is why you watch Worlds Collide streams, people. You learn something new every day.
So that's a ghost at Dekar, which means it's not a character, but could still be an Esper. That's Dolahan as the boss, though. Three out of 4 got pearled. Kiglis is also doing Esper Cave and finds the, Funbaba there. And Sonic is going to check the Curse Shield.
Do we know what the number is?
8. Oh, I even took a guess at that. I was like, I was just saying 8, and it
You might be a wizard. You might be a wizard.
And so now Sonic looks like he's gonna go to fight the dragon and Triarch.
Yeah, I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I would say, oh, that's leader at the end of Ebbett's Rock, so no problem there. But yeah, just go find 8 fights, and now you've got a Paladin Shield.
Yeah, so that was going to be my question is, if you don't have a ribbon or a peace ring, are you uncursing that shield now? It's kind of borderline for me, right? 8 would be good to have at the beginning of the seed, but about a half an hour in, that starts to get a little questionable. What about you guys?
I mean, like 27 minutes in, 8, like, I'm thinking it's all right with it if I go and get Curse Shield. And do we see Terrors at Ebbett's Rock?
Yeah, that paid off.
But like, if I depends on when you have lock too. Like we got lock early in this seed, so definitely worth it if it was under 10 to try to get it. Because also the Paladin, when you uncurse the shield, the Paladin shield can also teach Ultima too.
Now, also, if Possum goes and gets Lock from Burning House, or if any of the ones who have done Burning House go Abbott's Rock to get Terra, that opens up the second weapon shop check after Whelp Cave.
I think that was a Behemoth suit, right?
Yeah, that was a Behemoth suit, okay. So it could be worth it.
Yeah, because that's Realm's best piece of equipment, although she can wear the Minerva, it looks like. So yeah.
We have Air Force at... I think that's Kefka and Narsh is the Air Force.
I think that's Tritok, right? He's
yeah, it's Tritok.
Okay, so he's all right.
Yeah, so this is interesting. 2 of Strago's checks have characters so far this seed. We haven't seen anybody peek Fnatic's tower yet, but
I mean, it also could mean if like Locke's checks have characters and Terra's checks have characters, we could see 2 totally different paths to go down.
Starlet at the top of Narsh, and a cozy snow muffler for Dakar.
That's still a pretty good find, but maybe not necessarily what you were hoping for at the end of the mansion.
And we're seeing Kiggless go towards Ebbett's Rock. I'll be surprised to get that Terra.
And Kiggless already has Lock, so we could see them go ahead and do Welk and get that Behemoth suit. And Possum is doing Burning House.
Wow. I would have thought when you pick up Terror, you immediately go to Sealed Gate Cave to get the treasure. But Burning House is right there.
Interesting, Possum got rid of Go-Go and not Gal.
Yeah,
that's shocking to see.
Go-Go's stats are a bit on the lower end, for sure, but I don't know if we've seen great magical spells as Sonic resets on the gold Durgan there. Have we seen some good spells on some of these Espers yet? Because that would sway my decision.
I mean, Ultima's on one of them, right?
That's true.
Yeah, Ultima's on Siren.
And where did they get Siren again?
I think Kiggless is the only one who has it.
Yeah, Siren came from Tunnel Armor.
So that's not a very hard one to find. Like it's like a very quick check for once you have Lock, you just go do it. Does Terra have control?
Oh, walk of shame for Sonic here.
Also, it looks like Possum's Strago has learned Warp. And Strago is, or I'm sorry, Possum is passing around that Thunder Shield to try and get everyone Thunder 2, I guess. Or Bolt 2.
Too bad it's not going to help him in the boss fight.
Dekar is also at Ebbett's Rock now. And Opera House for Sonic. So Decker hasn't done Burning House yet, right?
That is correct. He is still at 4 characters. But this will give him Terra, at least. I don't know if I'd be rushing to do Burning House with these characters either, but...
Okay, we got White Dragon at the Opera House.
And we have Mutant, which is really nice.
Yeah, Kegos is doing Imperial Base Sealed Gate.
Shout out to the loot goblins in chat. Oh my god, this is a terrible. Okay, it's still terrible. Ooh, 1 Thunder Shield and an X Potion. Yeah,
that is horrible. There,
I can get better stuff in my grandma's attic.
Well, you know, the Imperial Army is probably on a budget. So like, all the money's been going to the Magitech Research Division, so basic supplies are a bit, scarce.
Kefka's face paint is pretty pricey.
There is Doom on Starlit, it looks like.
and Phoenix is the one that had Warp, so that's how they learned Warp. Let me see. Sonic go into the mansion.
Yeah, it looks like Possum's just hitting every single one of those fights. And, Kiklos is already at 6 characters, so it's probably hoping to find an Esper at the Sealed Gate.
Yeah, so for Ultros League Season 5, we have the Kefka Tower skip at 9 characters or 12 Espers or 21 checks. And I have been getting 21 check skip more often than not if I'm getting a skip. I've gotten character skip I think once so far this season.
I mean, you're going to get 12 checks just by completing the unlock objectives. And it's pretty easy to find a bunch of extra stuff. And you're probably finding a lot of, like, dead checks, too.
Dragons also count as checks, too.
And I'm not sure what Kiglis got out of the Sealed Gate. But it looks like Esper?
It was an Esper. Curse shield counter is at 8, so it looks like Sonic is trying to uncurse that shield there.
Found a Moogle suit for Strago, too.
Let me see. Decker heading into Seal Cave. And Possum Morpheus taking on Doom.
Oh, he has
Possum has fire too.
Yeah, so he'll be in a better shape than some of our other runners.
Yeah, some of them spent quite a while in this fight.
Strength +2 on Kieran. That was the Sealed Gate Esper.
Okay.
So that's good to go unlock your Sword Tech user.
Oh, and Possum, 3 of his characters are frozen.
It is chilly here in the Northeast, at least.
Yes, it is chilly up here.
I think I've been missing out. My Northeast is just wet.
Well, yes, the last 2 days I have a river running through my front yard. Thank you very much.
I have the high winds with the rain, so got to watch all the decorations outside, making sure they're not hitting the ground or anything.
Tie down your inflatables.
Yeah, at my job the other night, I met someone who was from Florida, and they were talking about that it was really cold for them, and like, you haven't seen anything yet.
And so the Magicite at Sealed Cave was Curran.
Yeah, Possum still is like 25% characters active still, unfortunately.
Ooh, Thunder Shield behind the door.
Yeah, that was a nice find. Yeah, and Strego is unfortunately like one of the ones that doesn't have the fire spell.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be just Gao that's unfrozen with Steel and Sketch.
At the same time, that unfroze him, so maybe we got some action going.
Yeah, you get unfrozen after a period of time, or if you cast a fire spell on yourself. Uh-oh. Okay. Whew. Whenever bar happens in slots, you get worried for a Crusader summon. I tried to show off a Crusader glitch one time, and it actually killed the boss and not my party, and I was very surprised.
We have dual hands.
Try saying that 5 times fast.
I will not, thank you.
Nope.
Meanwhile, Dekar is going to Albrook. There's, stuff to loot there.
Well, at least Ifrit would have been useful on the Doom fight, or the Dullahan fight for that matter. Yeah, so we haven't seen a lot of Terra checks, and we haven't seen a lot of lock checks. Oh, no, we have. We've seen Tunnel Armor, right? And we saw...
Weapon Shop. But it looks like Dekar's going to Zozo. That Dullahan is down on Sonic's side. And Possum's back in the fight now that his guys have thawed out. Got 7 flesh off that slot.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do the Welk check yet. And at least get the Behemoth suit after the Welk check.
I mean, I could understand it depending upon what circumstances you're in, right? Like, that's a peekable check. You can see what the result is before you fight the fight. You have to reset out of it, but...
And Kiglos is still the only one who would be able to do that, although Possum just finished this fight and will get lock from it. So we might see him go up to Narch since there's plenty to do for both Terra and Lock up there. Sonic is going to check out Esper Cave.
And Dakar giving us some new info here. I don't think we've seen Zozo Tower yet.
Yeah, we haven't. This is new.
Not a whole heck of a lot in terms of offense for this seed, though.
It has been, stingy with the offense.
We got Vargas with his Pooh Bears.
Okay, and this is at the Dataluma spot, and I don't think this is going to be that much of a threat. I mean, every time I say that on stream, someone always says, well, the bears can be very scary at statue, and it's like, I don't think I've ever encountered them at statue.
For me personally, the only time I've ever had a problem with Vargas is in Kefka's Tower. He will use that Doom Fist ability, which basically gives your characters a condemned timer. And when you only have one character and one meat shield, 19 seconds may not be enough to kill him.
That's fair.
He's got pretty ridiculous HP. And those bears can slap pretty hard with their physical attacks.
I mean, I still feel like the most difficult time I've ever had with Vargas was back in vanilla, like when I first played it years ago.
Yeah, I can admit that too. I didn't know you had to do a blitz and do pummel.
We see a bunch of bosses all going down at the same time.
Love to see it.
Progress all around. So Possum is indeed going to Narsh. You have Terra, you have Locke, might as well.
And we see Esper at the top of Zuzu was Carbuncle.
Does Carbuncle cast Shell on the party?
Carbuncle cast Reflect on the party.
Okay.
Zone Seek, I think, casts the shell.
Yeah, Possum Orpheus not even checking the Curse Shield because of how late he got his lock.
Now, forgive my ignorance here. Is Welk check World of Balance only, or can you also do it in World of Ruin?
No, it's World of Balance only. Oh,
It's
Scion.
Oh, it's too bad Dakar doesn't have lock with sword tech, because this Cyan would be juicy right now.
And what check is Dakar at?
Welk. Remember,
Okay,
you guys
so-
were asking about it before. Why not do Welk? And here it is.
I think we have an answer. This is why you do Welk. I mean, tentacles are a bit annoying, but it's not going to be super difficult, right?
No, not with this HP.
I think Possum will probably do Welk once he switches back to World of Balance, but is taking on the Air Force first.
And one of the technicals is Doom. Like, you can basically cast Doom right onto it and knock it right out. So something that it's very needed if you want to just knock out one real quick and just only have to deal with 3.
Yeah, of the bottom ones, one is weak to fire, one is weak to ice. So
It doesn't feel like we've had a lot of dead checks. Like if I'm looking at the check counters, I'm looking at like the character counts and the Esper counts, and it seems fairly comparable. Like, so it doesn't feel like there's been a lot of checks I've missed.
yeah, I think, and that's Blitz with Cyan, which is disgusting, because Cyan's magic power is usually pretty awful. Yeah, I think the only dead check was the Snow Muffler, right? Was a reward for Rousers, maybe?
Yeah, that might be correct. I'm not sure if there was anything else that we missed.
Jeremy Arroyo says, nice job, guys. Commentating curse. That's what we're here for. You're welcome. You could tip us later. Oh!
Yeah.
He's pulling an Atma weapon out of the box there. So there's some offense finally. I mean, not now, but at some point. All right. Dakar, I think, is going up to Kefka at Narsh.
Now, this late, would you even think of doing Kefka at Narsh?
Well, you're halfway up Narsh, and you have 6 characters, so you could get a full party at the boss. So I'm fine with this, especially with being able to teleport all the way down. Siren also has magic power +2, besides that ultimate, by the way. I didn't even see that the first time. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, so Sonic is at Abyss Rock. We'll get Terra and be on 6 characters at the end of that. In fact, they'll put all of our racers on 6 characters.
Not a character there, Kefka at Narsh.
Possum is through that dragon. And that leader is going to be absolutely no threat to Sonic.
Yeah, this is still anybody's race here.
We have Welk for Kiglis, who will also get the sign, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yep,
so
and that-
Kiglis has an interesting choice to make because he has Lock right now, right? So do you immediately make a beeline for Cyan's Dream here, knowing that you need multiple Espers and you could unlock all of Sword Tech for Lock? What do you
I
think,
feel like
Kiglis?
it's the only really sensible choice just because it's got a lot of answers.
Yeah, I definitely go right straight World of Ruin through the Scion's Dream just to knock it out. And like now, Locke has all 8 sword techs, and basically you could possibly get 2 Espers, maybe even 3. It all depends.
Okay, Possum did switch to World of Bounce, but did not go back right into Narsh. Instead, doing the South Figaro Cave, it looks like.
So there was a peek of Fanatic's Tower from Sonic, and that is an Imp sprite, so we know that there is an Esper there. So that he's going to file that away for later. Fanatic's Tower and checks like Phoenix Cave and Ancient Castle have been greatly buffed with this Ultros League settings, being that you can have a check skip at 21 checks, because each dragon counts as a check, and Fanatic's Tower actually counts as 3 checks all in one spot if you also do the dragon.
I really feel like that Scion find is going to be very helpful. It just feels like there's a lot you're going to be able to do with that, like just in terms of your checks. Kiglis gets the behemoth suit.
Getting that behemoth suit.
Yeah, that's an easy check, right? That counts as a check, so you might as well go get it. It's literally right there.
And looks like Kiglis is going to check Kefka at Narsh.
It was the Golem Esper. We just saw Dakar get it. So that's even more Comless protection. I know we saw Life 3 on an Esper, but...
That's kind of spooky, though, because a lot of people are going to just completely dodge Kefka and Narsh. And if that's... But Golem is a really great find. And so there's a good argument for missing out on that Golem.
And we got Chatternook at Doma Castle.
The Chad.
So Deckard did defense first, it looks like?
Yep. Decker did the defense first before going to World of Ruin. So trying to take out Chatternook to see what's at defense.
Okay, Possum is back in World of Bounce, Narsh, and I'm assuming we'll be doing Welk and find that Cyan.
Yeah, remember, Dakar doesn't have lock with Sword Tech, so he has no added incentive to go to Cyan's Dream, right?
Yes. Sonic is almost done with the Welk fight. So pretty much everyone except for Dakar will have access to like a full Sword Tech, assuming they also go ahead and do Dream, which, you know, given their Esper counts, seems like a solid check to do.
Hey, maybe Dakar's just thinking, since got Scion from Welk, just do all of Scion's checks to try to get to that 9 Espers.
Nice use of the Pearl Rod there as well on Chad. If you have rods, you should use them. Otherwise, you're going to not be able to use them, right?
Jester or Sonic gets the Behemoth suit as well. We got some purple toad showing up on Kiglos' screen.
We see Stray over on Dakar's side.
And Possum is also through Welk.
And Dakar's going over to Mount Zozo.
Yeah, I guess without Lock and Sword Tech, he's less incentivized to check out Dream. But it still feels like Dream would be the right play at this point.
Yes, I'm one that would go right to Dream and knock it out, and then head over to Mount Zozo, just because like Dream, you could get another character, you could get like your first boss fight you fight could be an item or the Esper, the train could be anything. You could get your character there for the second boss fight, and on the throne you could have possibly the Magicite or the Esper, and that definitely could take them up to 9 Espers and unlock Kefka Tower. Plus, that's 5 checks you can get done with Cyan doing the invasion on Doma, Mount Zozo, and Dream World.
Hey, Possum is doing Doma defense. Kiglos just finished up Kefka and Narsh, beat Dada Luma for the Golem. And I think Sonic is also doing Kefka and Narsh at this point. I mean, I'm seeing the purple toads again.
Yeah, this is another Kefka at Narsh play.
So Cheddar is back on the screen for Possum because that's the defense boss.
First dragon here for Dakar.
And has anyone else done the Zone Eater check yet?
Yeah, somebody did it at the very beginning. And it was an Esper at the end.
Yeah, Possum did it first, and then I think Dakar also did it too.
Okay, so I just didn't remember because I think it was very much at the beginning.
Yeah, because we started with Realm and Strago and Gogo, right?
Gal.
Oh, Gao, I'm sorry.
But we got Gogo pretty quickly from the Veld check.
That's right.
And there's a troll, and now he gets through.
That's the worst, the trolls.
Possum is through Chatternook. Decker's done with that dragon.
I missed the reward. I looked away for a half a second.
And Sonic also finished Kefka and Narsh. That looks like a reset from Kiglos. Did he hit the crusher? Yeah.
He got crushed there. And it's Amaru at Mount Zozo.
Oh, God. No thanks.
Yeah, at this point, like, that's not what you want to find. And Possum is doing the dream now.
I mean, it might incentivize you to go up to World of Ruin, Narsh, because I don't think there's a character at Yeti, right? When we peaked.
Nah, I did not see a character pop out, so that could lead you right towards it, towards another Magicite or even an item.
I wonder what Yeti would write in his love letter. Like, what would that even look like?
Bunch of scribbles.
Would it be like, hey, baby, it's not just my foot that's big? Anyway, Kigalet's picking up an Esper. Keeping a PG-13 here on the stream.
Instead of like pictures of hearts, it would just be include an actual heart from an animal you hunted.
I thought Yeti would seal it with snow, at least, so the envelope will be soaking wet. All right,
I mean, we do know that Yeti is the best dabber in Final Fantasy VI, so there is that.
Okay, Narapa at Stooges. I don't think, like, this is more annoying than anything to worry about, right?
This isn't a boss fight. This is a time waste. Because remember, this is that floating continent when you're trying to get the hell off the island.
Just casting condemned on all your party members.
So Sonic is also through Doma Defense.
Everybody at 7 and 7 right now. This is getting interesting, this race.
Kiglis is also headed to Doma. I'm not sure if that's defense or I didn't see which world they were in.
Ooh, Float Quake from Posumorpheus. It's too bad that Narapa is also floating. I admire the enthusiasm, though. You don't get to see Float Quake very often, do you?
Yeah, this is actually a nice little callback to Free Enterprise where Possum comes from, because there is a boss that I forget exactly which one, that you think is going to be like vulnerable to ground, but it's actually floating. Yeah. It doesn't look like it's floating, but it is, and that can be very annoying when you're trying to quake it.
Yeah, Dullahan is actually a floating boss, even though it's a chariot. And it's weak to fire, even though it's on fire. It's very weird. That's a strange boss.
Never knew that about it. Never tried Quake on Dullahan before. Now I know.
Well, if you've played around long enough, as we're just over the hour mark, Sonic is in Fanatic's Tower. Here we go.
That's a dirt dragon that you only have magic and items to get through, but
yeah, that's not fun.
Now, see, would you go all the way to the top and fight the top boss before doing the dragon, so that way you have at least more magic, or just do the dragon first?
It honestly depends, right? It looks like, from my vantage point, he's trying to learn magic spells. So if you're trying to learn spells for the boss, then you're going to want to take the dragon on the way up, because you get 50 MP. There it is. Go with the mimic of the big blue bubble, and it's that time of the seed, folks.
Now, did Sonic find anything for like reducing the casting cost of that?
We'll have to see the next time he pulls up his menu.
Oh, and an Illumina from the Dirt Dragon.
There you go.
I think there's a joke there about buried treasure.
It's too bad that he does not have Locke or Terra in this party. But yeah, so anyway, like I was saying before, if you use the sniper weapon and you see it getting like the juicy, satisfying weapon throw proc, then you know that the character or the target is floating. So that's one easy way to determine it if you've fought enough bosses with that weapon for long enough.
So Kickless and Possum are both on 8 Espers and 7 characters, it looks like. So, and Possum still has both the Rexall and the Throne Room. So that's 2 opportunities to get that 9th Esper.
Ice Shield at the top of Fanatics for Sonic the Jester. And he's going to get an Esper on the way down. He just has to get one after that. So very close race between our runners here.
It's going to all come down to Kefka Tower.
Sonic is the closest to skip, it looks like.
And we got Ultros 1.
Absolutely the worst boss. You never want to see that. It's almost impossible to beat almost any spot. Utterly terrible. And wait, did you say Ultros 1?
Yeah, on
Oh no, never mind. I misheard you.
Yeah, Ultros 1 is dead already.
We do see Ultros 4 on Sonic's side, however.
And that's why you do the dragon first, because he's not going to get any MP from this fight.
That's 8 Sword Techs and a Ragnarok Esper. So for the KT for Kefka unlock, and we're going to check out the Throne Room for an Aura Lance.
Yeah, so we got 16 checks for Possum Morpheus. Eagles, are you going to go do some more checks for Skip, or are you going into KT right now?
With being at 16 checks, my mindset, go to KT and just take out everything there.
Or run into Doomgaze.
Yeah.
That was not an option. Sorry,
Doomgaze was
give you
not.
that one.
Yeah, but like 16 checks, that puts you 5 away. You already did Scions checks. You did Dragons. You got 2 Dragons if you did Norsh and Fanatics Tower. But like, I would just go right straight to Kefka Tower, not worry about wasting time on the skip.
Yeah, it feel with that number that you're dealing with, it feels like Tower is just the correct answer. And do the stuff in the Tower to get some extra levels. And if you're still having trouble at Tower, then you've got stuff for getting skipped later on.
Is that Magi Master at Amaro?
That is what I see.
I mean, on the plus side, the only reason you would come here is for that one Umaru check.
It is an Esper, though. And that's unfortunate, because I don't know if Dakar has the offense to deal with this.
And he's probably seeing that Esper as go mode for him and does not want to back down either, even though it might be faster to go find a different Esper.
Yeah, looking at it, he's got Pummel and Slot, and that's, I think, it. Unless he also has Flare. I've seen Flare floating around on one of these Espers here.
I think Possum is going dragon hunting.
And this will be go mode for Sonic. I believe that was Phantom. That is the little girl's parent.
It is the slightly annoying Mobilis fight though.
Well, at least we know it's not Magi Master.
Or should be Goddess. We haven't seen Goddess. We've only seen Doom so far, right?
Just Doom, yeah.
I wonder if Possum's actually trying to just farm magic points to get some spells.
Learn an Ultima. Ooh, there's some decent spells on Fenrir. Ice 3. X-Zone.
If that's the case, then I like if I'm looking to learn spells, I would just go right to Tower and just have my party do the middle path and
Yeah,
try to
pack everyone into the most party, and then just swing around at switches to go and do both dragons and toilet atma with one group.
Well,
so
with Mount
Magic-
Zozo, he'll get 2 checks here, so that'll put him up to 19, at least.
I guess that's the other thing possible, is just trying to grab some quick checks to get skip.
Dakar does get through Magimaster there with
And
slots.
we see discount Magimaster at Moblez. I feel like Sonic got the better of the two.
Yeah, but you also learn more spells with regular Magimaster than you do with number 24. And you get a Mega Elixir for Final Kefka. So, you take the good with the bad, right?
Yeah. And was there an Esper at Tritalk?
There is, so this will be go mode for Kigalus.
All right, so pretty much everyone is going to be on their Final Kefka unlock at this point. And so it's really a matter of, do you just swing in for tower for skip, or do you do other stuff? And we see Possum is still hunting dragons and doing a few other things. But I feel like Sonic is just going to go, he's on 19 checks. He's going to do like Toilet Atma and a dragon and get skip that way.
Yeah, 19 checks, definitely Toilet Atma and Dragon to do the skip real quick. And then
We'll see
work
for
with
sure
that.
if he packs center. Yeah. That's exactly what he's doing.
And is Dakar doing the same thing? Oh no, Dakar looks like
He's
they're
just
going through the
going in.
whole tower.
He's just going in.
Yeah, he's only on 17, so he would have to do like all three, both dragons, Toilet Atma, and then one other check somewhere. Kigalus is on 18 though. Possum is now on 18 and is doing the Opera Dragon. At his current level, I don't think the Opera Dragon is going to be a very huge threat to him, though.
We have Siren and Mute too, so this is a nothing burger.
All right, so we got Ultros fight going on right now.
This Ultros 3, is that the Toilet Atma spot?
That is
I
correct.
believe so.
Okay, Kigalus is also going to tower and has divided his party a bit more evenly, so is probably doing the same thing Dekar is.
Ultros, beware his tri-elemental attack. Heals over and dies. Thanks, Ultros. Really scaring us now.
Dekar getting us, slightly French vanilla, because I think that is where Inferno normally is, and we got discount Inferno instead.
That $128, $1.28 Inferno.
It's the mom, can we get Inferno? We have Inferno at home. That's the Inferno at home.
Yes, that one. So we got is that Blue Dragon? Blue Dragon at the dragon spot in the center for Sonic.
There's so much lightning spells, that's not going to even be an issue. Or we could just big blue it. Okay, and Possum is now into tower finally.
Possum going down the center.
Yep, got those extra dragons just to go for the skip as well. And speaking of skip, Sonic has it. I wonder also if those extra dragons are going to give Possum a slight edge in the final fight. Just
Oh no,
some
Sonic has got to chase
Probably
the
missed
rope.
it.
He's got no warp stone, so he's got to chase the rope out. I think this gives Dakar some time to catch up here. So yeah, if you don't have a warp stone... Oh, he missed it again!
2 times, wow.
Oh no! It's a travesty, folks. This is bad. There we go. So in case you ever want to know how to get out of Kefka's Tower without a warp stone, that is not a tutorial. Thank you, Overswarm, with a party of 6 raid. Welcome into the stream. You're just in time for a nail-biter of a race here.
Is Kickless taking down the dragons to get Skip?
Yes.
And Dekar is also fighting dragons at this point.
Yeah, I thought that Kiglis and Dekar were just getting their like party separate and just probably fighting the dragons and everything just to get some levels for Final Kefka.
Maybe. I mean, it kind of works both ways, because if you have to back out because you encounter like a statue boss you weren't expecting, then getting Skip along the way lets you just go right back into that statue once you reform your party too.
All right, so at 1:13:11, we got Sonic starting the statues.
Yeah, so there's the power of the skip as Sonic jumps over Dakar here, even with the the rope mishap. But it's still super close. Okay, maybe not as close as I thought it was. Drago's got to take a long walk.
At least it's not the walk of shame out the building.
So Possum already got through that, so I think Possum's actually on 20 checks, and this will be his skip.
Yes, you're right.
So Possum will also be jumping ahead of Kiglis, possibly even slightly ahead of Dakar, or at least on par with Dakar from this.
And we got the Stooges at the Guardian platform.
I mean, if you have the tools to deal with them, it's not really a problem, but they are certainly one of the more annoying bosses.
Well, when you got that big blue cloud, you should be able to take out the Stooges no problem.
Yeah, but you also have to remember that the big blue cloud does have some cast time associated with it, so it's certainly a way to kill everything, but it's not the fastest necessarily.
Okay, and Possum is going in with his skip.
Yeah, both the big blue cloud and flare are like the longest spells.
And did Kiglis also get skip?
No, he's at 20. He didn't fight the other dragon yet.
Okay, yeah.
He took the Inferno spot down and warped out too early.
And resets. Do you think he realized he's on 20 and is going to try and find something to get skip with?
And right now, between Sonic and
I'm sorry, go ahead.
between Sonic and Decker, it's like roughly about like 2 minutes, 10-second difference.
Yeah, so for people that I guess Kigulus fought the Inferno spot, but not the Dragon. So the Inferno spot, the statue spots, the Guardian spot, they don't count as checks, but Dragons do. And that's because Dragons will drop you a high tier item. So anything that drops a high tier item counts as a check, which is why Toilet Atma counts as a check as well.
Did Deckard complete any of the side statues?
Not yet.
Okay, so Possum actually managed to pull ahead by just getting through the triplets.
This is still too close to tell, even though Sonic has a definite advantage here, being, one boss ahead of Possum Morpheus, who is now one boss ahead of Dakar. It's still close.
Yeah, and I think we've now seen all 4 Ultroses. And that one's gone already. We hardly knew.
Is that the 4th day of the 12th day of Christmas?
Well, it wouldn't be Ultros League if we didn't see all 4 Ultros.
That's true. Yo, dog.
And that's no dog, that's a Yeti. So, but that is also going to be Skip, I think, for Kigulus now.
Yeah, that'll be Skip.
We have Welk as one of the side statues.
Oh no, does he not have a warp stone? Eek.
Oh, that's horrible.
He must have used his last one in Kefka's tower.
But you had an Esper that taught warp also.
So how do you feel about the matchup with Sword Tech Locke versus Welk here?
Yeah, this is not a fun one. Because Welk is one of those bosses that you need to target a certain part of, and Sword Tech doesn't work well with targeting. Although, of course, they say that and Locke just smacks the head 3 times in a row. And you can kill the shell. It just takes a bit.
The good here's the good thing Possum did. I think that Locke has a Thunder Shield on.
No, God, this fight just can get super duper slow.
Oh no.
Well, this will allow Dakar to catch up here.
And Kigulus is taking on that dragon as well.
Well, Schwaz, you called it. Take out the shell.
Oh my God. I've seen it happen maybe a few times. So you're witnessing history right there, folks.
Sometimes all you need is just a stupid amount of power.
Yeah, so as a not a programming note, but for this race, no one has finished their run yet this week. So we have no other times in the clubhouse, so to speak, yet. And Sonic the Jester is our first one at Final Kefka. I usually like to play a how long will Final Kefka last game. I think I'm going to go with a 7:21 here for Sonic, starting at 1:20:52. What do you guys think?
This is my guy Sonic. I'm going to give him 6.5 minutes.
I'm going to say 8 minutes, 12 seconds. Just because of the weapons, like not having that much good weapons.
Yeah. We do have Calmness Protection and Mute and Instant Death, but there is a lot of... there isn't a lot other than Ultima, which I don't know what his magic absorption abilities are.
Yeah, it looks like Bolt 2, Ice 2, Fire 2.
So Possum's last statue is the the Flame Eater, right? And he does have a realm with Ice 3.
Alright, so Kigulus coming back into the tower here after getting some skip and some levels. Dakar is eating some Escar go. And Postomorpheus is going to be up to Final Kefka as well. So this is still anybody's race here. Just because Sonic is at Final Kefka first doesn't mean that it's over yet.
I mean, all in all, this has been a really great race, I think. And you're seeing a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of really good stuff. And it's, you know, a close race is always a good race.
And no, that's not Mog on Sonic's screen. That is Strago wearing the Moggle suit.
So question for you, Eagles. Do you think that a Moogle suit is made out of real Moogle, or is it synthetic?
Who? Yeah, I think it's like basically a real Moogle that they just basically like the stuffed and everything, and it's like, hey, let me just wear that as a costume.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but I think Kiglis started eating his Wheaties for breakfast because that whelp went down really quick.
Yeah, that's he's got pretty decent levels here. And I think Kigulus is the only one that has that Atma weapon, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I thought he only was the one who picked up the Atma weapon with Locke.
Okay, Possum is about to start Final Kefka, and we do see that Sonic is on tier 2. Dekar just finished off Welk. I think it's just the Flame Eater is left on the other side.
All right, so we have Doom, we have Mute, all the goodies for tier 2 here. Yeah, so Postomorpheus has Sword Tech 7, which Sonic does not. And we'll see if that makes a difference here, along with some tier 3 elemental spells as well, it looks like. So definitely a little bit more firepower. Now just comes execution here.
I think barring anything really unusual happening, this is going to be very close. Yeah, and Dekar has the same strategy that Possum did, just throw Ice 3 at Flame Eater.
Strago doing a casual double quad 9s on his turn. Very nice. Old man be lifting.
And there goes Flare for Strago.
Possum has also floated everything. I think that's maybe just some insurance against Quake.
Yeah, when you have Sword Tech and you can't target who you gets hit with it, you might accidentally kill the face before the rest of it. So it's a good thing. And Phoenix Summon coming out for Kigulus. I'm pretty sure that was a slot gone wrong.
That could have also just been a Magicite use.
I think that's the third time we've seen 3 bars.
Oh, no, you're right. That was slot.
I have never seen so many bars. Maybe that's a sign from Worlds Collide. Who wants to go drinking after this? Bar. Anyway, tier 2 for Postomorpheus.
I feel like this season, when you get slots, like you're getting Magicite like every time. That's what I feel like. Because when I've been running, it's been bar every time, and I'm just praying it's not Crusader.
Yeah.
Okay, Possum did get that cleave off, so Tools is already down. Siren comes out. That's going to help against Magic.
Yeah, and Sonic using Flare, like you mentioned before, Joker Mage, long spell cast animation. So these Ice 3s are going to go much faster on Postomorpheus' end here.
We do see Dekar is now into the Kefka fight.
Yeah, so I think we'll have all 4 runners on Kefka at the same time as soon as Pigalis gets out of the menu here. Oh no, we still need one more fight from him.
I think it's just a Flame Eater, right?
Yep.
We're seeing both Terra and Strago with the tier 3 magic on Possum Morpheus' side.
Is Tiger already down?
Yes, Tiger went down with Ice 3 from both Strago and then Terra to follow up.
Sonic using Phantom on his party, so that this way 10 hits does the minimal amount of animation as possible. So this is good heads-up play here.
We got 10 hits on Possum's side.
I think Possum has just surpassed Sonic, unless Magic is already dead.
I mean, it's super close at this point.
Yep, and there's the 10 hits with all the misses. So, much better animation time, and there it is. So Sonic is on to tier 3, but just barely ahead of Possum Morpheus, who's getting the magic counters right now. So we are neck and neck, folks.
That is roughly 6 seconds. 6-second difference right now.
Oof. You know what, chat? I paid for the whole seat, but I only need the edge. Here we go. Tier 3 between our bottom runners.
Yeah, now Tier 3 can be spooky. I think both these guys know what to do for it, though. That's not a great start.
Oh no, not when you have Phantom either. Yick. So, when you have Phantom cast and you're vanished, magical attacks will always hit. So that opening W wind is especially nasty.
Yeah, and Possum dodged the W wind. Or I should say, they didn't get hit with it at all.
Yeah, so Ultima coming out, so this will probably take down Girl. There it is. And now
you
it's
just
execution here.
Just got to make sure to count the right amount of HP, because when under 10,000 HP, you start to get into that Meteo phase.
Here it is.
He's at that phase.
Now, one thing I learned is if you get into that Meteo phase, you can always use your Revivify right onto them. And what is it, like 1/8 of the HP it gets cured?
Yep. And since Sleep has 40,000 HP, for all of you math people out there, that means 5,000 heals per Revivify. Oh, Possum Morpheus had to cast Remedy on Lock to use Fenrir there. So bit of a couple of turn losses here in order to get the party back up, but I think
Looks like Sonic got hit by another W wind too.
Here comes Golem for him. And there's Calmness, so Possum Morpheus taking over from Sonic at the last second here. And Kigalus is stepping up to the plate as well. So yes, it is true. Tonic A, all of the runners on Kefka at the same time. Let's see if Possum Morpheus can close it out here.
We got Meteo phase on Jester or Sonic's side.
Yes, Sonic just got hit with Meteo phase. And doing Flare. Hopefully that's enough to take it out.
Risking a counterattack there. You can get counterattacked in between both of the casts of X magic, even if you mimic it. Ooh, no counters. A very, very quiet Sleep here. As we see Possum Morpheus pumping out the damage here against Kefka.
Fallen one.
Yeah, so let's see how he recovers. Tier 3, easy.
And Sonic just making it through sleep, so heading up to Kefka now.
Looks like Terra still is okay. There we have Goner coming out.
Here come the shields.
Yeah, that Terra was still under effects of the previous train.
I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get this spell off before the Goner. Oh, here it comes.
He's going to survive this Goner, but then it's really a case of how much does Kefka have left
He's
at this point.
queuing up a lot of attacks. This is very dangerous here, because anything can be countered now. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is that.
GG.
GG on that one.
132.58, overtaking Sonic the Jester at the last second there. What an incredible final Kefka there for him. Make sure you tell him in his chat.
We have Goner on Sonic's side now.
Yeah, so we did a prediction for Sonic because he was the first to enter Kefka, and he still isn't done yet.
Yeah, that's I think the difference between like having those really fast, high power spells and having to resort to flare.
And we are joined by Possumorpheus in the chat. GG's, congratulations on your first place victory. How do you feel? As Sonic the Jester finishes up slightly behind, you actually went into Final Kefka after Sonic the Jester, but your extreme potent offense made you overtake him there on Tier 3.
Yeah, that was a real interesting one to answer the questions in order. I feel really good about that. 132 is a good time for me. This is, not my primary game. I dabble in this. I'm a free enterprise main for Final Fantasy IV. So it really feels good to get a good performance in, especially in a live race. So that feels real good. The power overwhelming part, it's actually kind of interesting. If the skies didn't search for me, I wasn't going to go for the skip. And once they searched for me, I was like, okay, now I got a couple dragons really easy to line up, get some levels for locked, let that sword tech go. And I guess it all worked out. So, I'm overjoyed. Very, very cool stuff for me.
Yeah, it did really feel like the source of that overtake was, having access to Ultima, having access to spells that were faster than Flare, and also having access to advanced sword tech. And so all those pieces kind of fell into place towards the end there.
Yeah, when I saw Cyan from Welk check, I was like, oh, wait, hold on. This gives me a bunch of checks and full sword tech. And Cleave is a heck of a thing. Sword tech 7 is a heck of a thing. And so I was like, I was planning on doing Welk into Kefka and Narsh, and then it was like, wait a second, that changes everything. Cyan's got some juicy stuff on the table, opens me up for another dragon. Was, just real interesting how it played out, and needed it after the way Burning House went, because by God, did that take forever. And that was a spooky doom at the end of it, too.
Burning House took everybody a long time, so you weren't the only one struggling on that, Possumorpheus. But going right straight into Tier 3 of Kefka, you were only 6 seconds behind, but having those Tier 3 magic really helped you out. What was your mindset on learning those magic just to help you out?
I kind of play a very safe, conservative style, which, eventually I'll get better at with this, but I wanted to spread the wealth a little. I was a little sad when Ultros showed up at the second statue in the middle, because it didn't let Ultimate get learned on Terra. And so then it was like, okay, well, I mean, she can still contribute, but I wanted the button just in case on an extra person. Didn't end up actually using it that much, but I just like to kind of spread that wealth. It means my menu time is longer, my, all of that is longer, but it worked out. So, it's just my play style at the moment. Maybe that'll change, but I'm not good enough to force low levels and things like that yet. One day.
Yeah, so you and I know there's plenty of differences between Worlds Collide and Free Enterprise, but I'm wondering for you, what really has been the main difference that you've had to sort of adapt to in learning Worlds Collide?
Golly, it's just knowledge. There's just so much to know in all these games, and I consider myself and fancy myself an expert in Free Enterprise, but the knowledge gaps and the knowledge, zones that are missing in Worlds Collide are very large. For example, I can't tell you what a single Blitz command is. So had we started with Blitz, I'd have been, pardon my French, screwed. There's just stuff that I objectively don't know yet and haven't committed to learn. A ton of boss weaknesses and stuff like that, boss scripts. There's so much to learn. That's where my big weakness is. I fancy myself a scholar of games, and that's a big place I need to pick up on. I'm just kind of, winging it with the rando experience from other places. But, again, one day we'll get there.
And another thing to sort of tie it back to Free Enterprises, I believe it's the Mylon Z fight where you might be surprised to find out that he's floating. Is that correct?
Yeah, and Narapa apparently floats. I was I don't have a way to get past the reflect, which I at least know is on there. So I'll try to go for some Quake strats, because I have float. But yeah, apparently Narapa floats, and I was like, sick. I guess we'll rely on Sword Tech 4 and slots or something. Neat.
Yeah,
awesome.
okay.
I love the ingenuity there, though. Yeah, there's a lot of weird bosses that float. Like Dullahan, it's a chariot, for Christ's sake. How is it floating? It somehow is floating.
Yeah, they tried. Bless their hearts, they tried back in the 90s.
For sure. So, yeah, I think those are most of my questions. Eagles, you got some questions for Pasta Morpheus here?
Nah, just GG's on the win, and hopefully you guys were the first 4 to run in your league, so hopefully you stay in first place on this last week.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm out of the running for first or second in this group. Sonic is a very, very good player, and I'm just blessed to be able to get by him today. I think this is maybe the second time I've gotten him this season, if that. So definitely counting my lucky stars on this. And I have kind of a weird shout out I got to give also. Fly Eagles Fly, you may indirectly be the reason I'm in this booth right now.
Oh.
Some number of years ago, you introduced Dr. Cossack to Free Enterprise, who was my mentor in Free Enterprise and ultimately led me from there to here. So in a roundabout way, the world can thank you for my existence.
Hey, that's all I got to say. It's just
awesome.
Hey, just showing these randomizers to everybody. They just pop in and start watching and asking questions, and next thing you know, I seen you were in Ultros League this season, so it's all right, getting more of the Free Enterprise crew in.
Definitely. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for doing all the restream stuff. Schwantz, Fly Eagles Fly, Joker Mage. Appreciate y'all doing the hard work while we just got to play the game.
Well, thank you for running. Can't have the races without the runners. So appreciate you volunteering to be on Restream to do this. That was a lot of fun, a great race, and I wish you luck in the future with future races, and hope to see you back on the stream again. So thank you.
Definitely. Thank you all so much. Have a great night.
You too. Let's drag in Sonic the Jester here. I was going to say, go ahead, Joker.
I was just going to say, Deckard just finished up with a time of hour 40, 17 seconds.
All right.
Hi, everybody.
What's up, Sonic? How's it going? So you finished in second place.
How's everybody doing?
I think we're doing great. This is a really, really fun race. Unfortunately, you were on the bad end of things there between the W wind after the Phantom and having to rely on the very fast, super speedy spell Flare for the majority of your Kefka, I think was what ultimately did you dirty in that seed. So tell us a little bit about how you think the seed went before Kefka or during Kefka, whatever you want to chat about here.
Well, the seed was definitely a little difficult. Like, I was doing great at first. Was hitting the slots nice. And then they started to hiccup. And I was like, it's going to be one of these seeds, huh?
Yeah.
And then didn't really get too great of... I got great mid-game offense, but wasn't fine in the end game. And then I was kind of flustered, completely forgot to equip the behemoth suit and the snow muffler, so that definitely hurt my defense a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely wasted like 2 turns in tier 1 having to throw extra cures out because of the huge amount of damage. And I was kind of like, if you saw, I was scrolling through the item list, like staring at them every now and then, like, oh, it bited me in the butt so hard. Selling the elixirs early for the gold boost was probably not the greatest move. Like, it definitely helped getting those ice rods early, but I think it hurt me as well in Final Kefka because like I didn't want to stop at a shop to get any more consumables before running into the tower. I was just like, all right, we could do this. We got it. But yeah, tier 3 was really rough. You know, throwing out those. I mean, you think Gaul was blocking everything with his paladin shield, you know, and think he would have blocked those whirlwinds, but you know, it is what it is.
That's what happens when you are vanished. Any magical spell will hit you no matter what. So since you had that's the downside of using Phantom on tier 2, right? Is that could happen on tier 3 and it's just unlucky, you know.
Yeah, I mean, even Merton, you know, any opener, well, you know, is kind of painful, but you know, at least Merton would have healed him.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it just RNGs just can't always be on your side, right?
No, that's why you have to pray 5 times a day.
So even though you, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how was Pasta's run? I saw him finish as I was transitioning, and I was like, oh, it's so close.
Yes, yeah, he had more tier 3 elemental spells, and I think you both had pretty high levels. Is that so? I was going to ask, was that deliberate to get higher levels when you couldn't find, you know, other means of offense there?
I mean, I was just going through the best means of my checks in order to find what I was desiring. I wasn't really thinking about leveling. You know, the main thing was I really wanted to uncurse that shield to help, you know, just have a little bit more defense later, because I figured anything was going to help. So juggling that definitely was a high priority on my list. Outside of that, and I found the earrings early, but didn't. Luckily, I found the dragon boots for sale when I went to the Zen Thief, so that helped too. But levels like Gold Dragon, that hurt. You know, I was like, I don't know why I casted mute on him. I really thought I had Berserk somewhere, but guess I didn't learn it yet. But yeah, having no tier 3, that hurt. So I was thinking I should probably go for skip. So I was prioritizing quick checks that I could just take down real fast. You know, quick walks. Like I was gonna reset on Cyan, you know, but then I was like, wait a minute, there is the behemoth suit behind there, and then Cyan can give me a quick check at Dream, you know, so or at Siege. So I was thinking by doing the quick checks, I was probably going to have the levels to not have to worry too much about statue bosses. So it kind of played into itself.
Yeah. So you did, you know, you got second for this race, but you, for the group for the season, you're first overall. So, you know, I have to ask you this. When during the season did you find that dog in you?
Oh, you know, Glue saw me find that dog in me, you know, way back in September, you know, after my like 60th Iron Mog run when I finally sub 90 on an Iron Mog. And, you know, since then I've just been training that dog, trying to break him out. He did not break out this seed though. You know, he tried to, but got sidewalled by Gold Dragon there and no warp stones.
I mean, even with like all the things that you ran into with this, you still got a very good time, and you're second overall for at least for on stream.
Bye. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But everybody in, I think I did the count, like 91 of our runners, and every one of them has amazing times. They're all sub they're all sub 100. You know what I mean? And it took me hundreds of seeds to get to sub 100, sub 90 consistently. So I mean, we have a great community here of a lot of talented people. We all learn from each other and we all teach each other, and then it's great, heartwarming.
So, Sonic, what did you think about Doom being in the burning house?
Oh man, that was so punishing, and I was just like, okay, I can do this. And that's when the slots really came back, because I was like, here it is. It's ride or die, right? If I don't get through this fight, then I was the whole seed was the wash. That was painful. Like having the sky armors and Spitfires pincering attack me, it was bad enough. To go into Doom after that, I was just like, come on. Did anybody else go in the burning house?
I think everyone did eventually.
Everyone did, yeah.
Esper was the only one who did not go in the burning house. He did not get lock at all.
Oh, that's right.
But it was like you were.
Did anybody?
You were like very like ahead of everybody starting Kefka, and then it was just right when you got to that level 2. That's what it was doing you in right there with those flares.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it
was super close the entire time though. Everybody was within 1 or 2 of one another in terms of progression. So there wasn't like a huge gap that happened, right? So
yeah, I think you should definitely watch this back when you get a chance.
Oh, I definitely will, because it's so amazing to be able to watch a race that you've ran with everybody else at the same time. It's so much different than watching someone else's race, because you don't have a knowledge of the seed to see the variance. You're kind of learning on the fly, and it's so much information, it's hard to absorb it all, even if you're pumping and dumping, yeah, in retrospect, I probably should have just focused on like Fire 2 or Ice 2, probably just Fire 2s on Magic until he got low. I just didn't want to deal with, his counter-attacking, causing more of a time loss. And I was just calculating whether or not it'd be worth it with how much MP I had, knowing I only had 1 elixir and I used all my ethers already. I was kind of put myself in a tight spot in the final Kefka, and that's something I need to learn, is just to take that 30 seconds to stop at maybe Zen item shop just to pick up a few consumables before running into final Kefka. Probably would have made it a lot easier.
Even so, like you got through that pretty good, and just with that time, that's a pretty good time going through this tough seed where everybody was neck and neck the whole time. Like even taking different paths, everybody was like so close with each other.
Oh man, did anybody go with a different starting group?
there was a lot of different parties towards the end.
I think the only the initial divergence was whether you got Locke first or Terra first, and I think most people have eventually got them both, but except for Dekar, who missed out on the Locke. But it was pretty much, there was a lot of, it sort of converged on the same available characters, and then sort of figuring out, like, of those available characters, who are you taking?
Because I didn't even look at Terra or Cyan, you know, I just was like, I compared Locke with Gogo, and Gogo just was going to be better based on the stats that he had, so I just kind of stuck with him. What did Terra and Cyan have?
Cyan was Blitz, Terra was Control?
Control. I think Terra had Control.
I'm surprised that a lot of people, yourself included, stuck with Gao, even though he had, what, Sketch, Steel?
Steel and Sketch.
See, it was the thing about Sketch I was thinking is, you know, I could probably sketch an Ultima, from Kefka, or, and even on Doom it helped, throwing a Havoc Wing or two out, so, or no, a Demon Rage, right? So, like, Sketch can be useful. it helped me with the Spitfires and the Sky Armors too, throwing out that M-Tech laser, so I definitely was hoping for something better on Gaw, but he had great stats and he was learning the spells, and I knew he was going to be a powerhouse later, so I just took a gamble on it. We definitely got a tough seed though. Like every one of these Tonic seeds have been brutal outside of one, I think.
Yeah, that one I would say was kind of it was kind of tough because it was really only slots and Mimic for a while, right?
Yeah, but Go-Go definitely helped later, with those extra shields and rods I had. It helped me get through Final Kefka, totally. I was really regretting using that one on Flame Eater though, but with God, only having Ice 1 because I forgot to give him an Ice Shield later was super bad on my part too. So
well, so you guys, Joker or Eagles, got any other questions for Sonic?
No, I'm good. I'm just looking forward to like whatever's coming next, and maybe getting to do some more commentary jobs with you.
I look forward to it too, man. Sorry, it's been rough the past month, and next few weeks
I'm
going to be
there
crazy
with you.
too. But I'm always willing to be there when I can. And thank you both so much for all the hard work you're doing tonight, and everybody else that made this all come together.
For sure.
GG's on the race, and thank you for putting on the show tonight.
I have one final question for you, Sonic, before you go. Are you looking forward to moving on up to Potion Division next season?
Oh, just participating in the community overall, it's a great thing, so definitely.
Yeah, as we were talking about it earlier on stream with Saberwolf, as you go up the divisions in Ultros League, you have less and less margin for error, right? I know in my division, if you make one mistake, you are suddenly in at least 4th or 5th place. So it will definitely make you a much better runner for sure.
It's definitely stressful. Like doing this run compared to any other run, even the Iron Mugs I do, like I could feel blood vessels pulsating. And I was just like, just breathe, calm down. It's just any other run like you've done before, and especially in the tier 3, I was like, oh my God. It makes it really hard to focus, So I guess that tapers down with more and more runs under your belt live, right?
For sure.
At least I hope.
Yeah. Okay. But yes, thank you for volunteering to run. Can't have the races without the runners, so really appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks a lot again.
Hey, you two guys, and happy holidays to everybody.
Same,
I hope
dog.
you all have a great and festive few weeks.
All right. Catch you later.
All right. Good night, everyone.
So how did our team do, Eagles? Here we go. Where is it? Did we win? Oh my God, we did not win.
We did not win. We let a touchdown up at the end. It was just with 28 seconds left.
Well, hopefully that is not a precursor for my Ultros League run this week. But
yeah, I'm hoping it's not for me either.
So, any other final thoughts, Eagles, for tonight?
Only thing that I got to say is if you guys are interested in joining up and doing Worlds Collide, we got the Discord. We also have the website for Worlds Collide. But also, if you are a runner and you're looking to get more tips, they do have the mentors in the Discord chat. So feel free to post it. I know I'm not that really good, so I teamed up and I work with a few of the runners who are pretty good who've been helping me out to get my times down. So it's very good, very helpful community out there. So if you're interested in seeing what else you can do, there's always that there too with the mentors.
Yeah, so I know that you've gone through at least one mentoring session. Was it something that was enjoyable? Did you learn some stuff? Give us a little plug for it if you liked it.
Yeah, not a problem. I actually had Drinks Glue and Gar as my mentors. Gar I gave them a video of my one Ultros League run, and they went through and showed stuff that what I shouldn't do and what I could do. And Drinks Glue, we've been working together the past 2 weekends where basically I show them what I'm doing, and they would let me know, like, hey, think of this way of working with your party. Once you get like 6 characters, think who you're going to have going center, left, or right at the statues, and also learning the weight trick. That's one thing that I really didn't do too well with, and I was just mashing on right through Kefka and also tier 3 and getting that media counter. So just learning those different types of things has improved. I've went from a 2-hour time down to roughly like an average of a 1 hour and 45 minutes in Ultros League, and just working that time down. So like 15-minute improvement just by working with 2 mentors is a great thing.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's awesome. Glad to hear a bit of a success story. So in the beginner's house in our Discord, there are the pinned links have a submission form. You could either submit a VOD of your race that you've done in the past, or there's also a live coaching and mentoring session. It sounds like you got a little of column A, a little of column B. So we have some mentors that are willing to help. So shout out to you guys, the other mentors in the community, for helping out. That's pretty awesome. So Joker Mage, you got any other final thoughts before we get the heck out of here? It's been a long day of racing.
Yeah, especially since I've been on comm since like 8 p.m. But
Yep.
yeah, in addition, our community does a bunch of other stuff. There's parts of our community that will participate in like charity events and marathons. So like Saber Wolf and One Free Fritz are often involved with those kinds of things, and you can ask them about that in the Discord. Great guys, and great causes, and just lots of fun to do stuff with that. I know Sonic is involved, I think, at least sometimes, with like the drafting group, where they'll draft different rules and then race each other in very unusual seeds based on those. And we did I think we actually showed a draft race last week on Speed Gaming. Very interesting and worth checking out. I myself am involved with several other people like Goku Jones and others in the multi-world async through Archipelago, where we're all sort of playing our own games, but we find items for each other. So instead of the usual competitive aspect, we're all sort of like stuck in an escape room of different video games together, and that's been a lot of fun for me. And of course, Schwann's, myself, and several others are part of the comms team, the Restream team, and so if that's something you might be interested in, definitely join. We can always use some extra hands here to get more of our games like broadcast and just produced and shown out there.
Yeah, awesome recap. Thank you for plugging those and shouting those out. Thank you guys also for doing commentary for the stream. It's pretty boring just to watch racers. Thank you guys for your insight and for helping me with pointing things out as I'm trying to track at the same time. So it was a lot of fun. This was a great race, and I hope to see all of you on a future one. Again, shout out to the runners who ran, my commentary crew, and that'll do it for me. And I'll catch everybody later. Thank you again. Bye-bye now. Peace.